Good morning once again. I am Stephanie Ruhle, live from Times Square. It is 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. out west. And as we come on the air today, the truth matters, but only if you hear it. Last night, President Donald Trump addressed the nation, sowing doubt about our country's elections with repeated baseless claims and announcing that his administration has declassified intelligence and posted it back up to what he was saying. It is his latest push for voting restrictions, the big bill before the midterms. So I'm going to take you through exactly what he said and fact check it point by point. And I know some of you are already saying, or you're putting it in the comment section now, I have read your questions. I hear it. Why are we playing what Donald Trump says on your show, given how much of it is a flat out lie, given that it's untrue? Well, first of all, he is the president of the United States, which means his words affect our world for better or worse. But second, and more importantly, we want to arm you with the truth about what he says, both because we want you to know it and because we want you to be able to share it with people you know who believe what he says. So here we go. The president had 5 main points. The first 2 were about China.
Over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. The second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling.
Okay, for fact's sake, voting data is publicly accessible. Most states make their data available to anybody who wants it. Some of them even do it for free. And we have known for years that China is trying to collect that data. It is a problem. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have been warning about it for years. And there is a very big difference between what Trump claimed and what is actually in the intelligence documents that the White House actually posted. The documents just say that China legally bought 2020 voter data from 7 different states. And as far as the deep state goes, the documents simply show that there was a minority view in the intel community that China was looking for ways to influence the 2020 election. They also show that the man who led that effort, Chris Porter, agreed that there was no information suggesting that China, in fact, tried to interfere with the election process. Next up, the voting machines.
The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened.
For fact's sake, the documents released by the White House show that Venezuela had some ability to manipulate voting systems, but only in that country, Venezuela, not the United States. And if you do not want to take my word for it, here's what John Solomon, a member of Trump's election task force, told our colleague Vaughn Hilliard right after the speech.
You acknowledge that there were no votes changed in 2020.
All I can acknowledge is what the intelligence shows, right? I only know the intelligence community has 0 evidence that someone has flipped that a foreign power flipped a vote in 2020, 22, or 24.
And you have you're able to acknowledge.
We're not through all the documents.
You're able to acknowledge that Venezuela has not tampered with voting machines in the United States.
No, the intelligence is very clear. They did it on their own machine.
0 evidence. Trump's next point was about an investigation that took place in Michigan.
The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed.
For fact's sake, this is not new. We have known about it for almost 3 years. Officials pointed out that this is an example of the system actually working like it should. An election official noted irregularities and notified the authorities. The FBI closed that investigation last September when Trump was in office, saying it did not identify a criminal violation. Now let's go to Trump's final point, which is focused on his favorite, non-citizen voting.
We are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review of state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that.
This one is simple. Trump and his team offered absolutely no proof to back up that number. And when it comes to non-citizens actually voting, the Bipartisan Policy Center could find only 77 instances between 1999 and 2023. That is 24 years, and all of them were investigated. And a few final reminders. Donald Trump is telling you our elections are broken. When he won the last major election, Donald Trump is telling you about all of these alleged election breaches that happened in 2020 when he was the president and had the levers of power. Donald Trump is also telling you he will encourage all levels of government to help secure our elections, when he is the one who's recently fired federal workers who do that very thing at places like the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and the Election Assistance Commission. And one last point. The midterms, they're just 109 days away.